Action.
What's up, guys? You tuned in to Just Saying Podcast with your girl Chanel Monique, where when real talk be real power. So get comfortable, get your drink, and let's get it in. Because I'm just saying. So today we sitting with my girl Rhea, and we gonna talk about from survival mode to soft life.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's just, our main points that we're talking about is signs that you're in survival mode even when you're successful. The cost of the hype of independence. What soft life really look like? Not luxury, but peace. So real, but no. First, how you been, girl?
Oh, I'm alive. I'm making it the best I can.
I know that's right. Get your mic,
Trying
girl.
trying to get.
It's all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm alive. I'm doing well. Trying to make it just like everybody else.
I know that's right. So for our first question, what was your wake up call that you were living in survival mode when you felt like, oh, I was in survival mode?
I think I'm gonna always say that I've been living in survival mode. I've always been. I got to be the most successful. I got to be the most making the most money, and that is a survival.
Right.
I think it really touched home when I lost my son and my mother. I think that's when I realized that I've been working and working and working and working, and I missed out on key attributes of my son's life and spending time with my mother. That if I wasn't always in survival mode, gotta get the dollar, gotta get the money, gotta go, gotta go. I think that's when it really hit home for me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we all do be in survival mode, even when we feel like, oh, I got this degree, and we just feel like it's just not enough, and we have to still go out there and try to get another degree. Like it's like I don't know, it's like we never feel fulfilled or something.
We don't. We really don't. We feel like we got to be the smartest. We got to go out here and get the associates, get the bachelors, get the masters, get the PhD. Got to live in the big house. Got to have the multiple cars. Got to be. That's our terminology of success.
Right.
And so we're in survival mode, trying to make it there. Be a serial entrepreneur, open up multiple businesses, all of that,
and we never just
never
sit
feel complete
and enjoy what we have.
No,
Like just sit still and just be at peace at what we have. Okay, like this is enough, so let me work with this. Like yeah, you're right.
Yes,
Cause I be like that sometimes. And I look at the degree because I hang all my stuff on the wall for the daycare purpose, for DHS purpose or whatever. And and I look at stuff and I be like, dang, I didn't come a long way, but it's still like I'm back in school again. Like, cause well, I need to just go ahead on and just get the other degree. Kind of stuff like. And I was just thinking about that. I said, cause that's crazy. Like I need to just be like still. Like just do this. And just see. Where's that.
right.
Or whatever. But we don't. We
never do. And you're always going to be on chasing something.
Yeah.
Chasing something. Even with as an entrepreneur, we'll open up one business and yeah, that's doing pretty good and lucrative. And then we have to open up another one. Right. Then we have to open up another one. Then we have to chase that one to open up another one. Right. And then that becomes a game because we're now living in a world where your regular job is not enough anymore. You got to have three or four other jobs. Your mortgage is over $1,000 or 1,400, 1,500. Car notes are starting to be $700 and $800. And see
rent is like 1,400. People is paying $1,400 for rent, and I was like, that's crazy that rent costs that kind of money.
It's the economy that we live in, though.
Yes, I was like, I kid you not, for before Hurricane Katrina, our house, our mortgage in New Orleans was $400. $400 mortgage. And like after Katrina, it's like everything just skyrocketed. Like I was like, Lord, what happened to the $400? This was a 3-bedroom house, and we was paying $400 mortgage, like not rent. That was our mortgage, $400. That's how much the mortgage was, and I was like, that is just crazy how everything would just change. It's just like, Lord, just listen to my daughter. They just moving. I'm like, oh, like what y'all paying over there? And they like 1,300. I said, for an apartment? You know, like,
and that's in New Orleans. So imagine here.
Well, no, they here.
Oh, they
Yeah,
here.
they here. So I was like, dang, that's just a lot, you know. But so, what myth did you have to unleash about womanhood and success? Like, any kind of advice you have about just unleashing things for, like, separating, from womanhood to going into success, you know?
It's something that I have in my car, on my rearview mirror. It's something that I have on my mirrors at home. Is I am enough.
Right. I say that too.
I am enough.
When I get up in the morning, I say I can overcome any challenge that come toward me today. Like, that's my thing. That I get up every morning and say that today, because it's a new day. So any challenge, like today, like, and we are enough. And women have to realize that they are enough. Like, because they don't realize that enough, like, you give everything that you could give, and then nobody not pouring back into you, so when you gonna realize that you are enough,
That's one of the been my major challenge. I be thinking, if I get the most money, if I get the most success, if I get this, I have found out that in the end, my mother's death showed me something that I have to live with. That in the end, all you are is your things. Everybody goes on. They'll fight over your little money. They'll fight over your stuff that you left behind. But then you become nothing. I mean, if you're left, you're reduced to your things. And that has nothing to do with how you were raised or anything. I have seen it, not just in my situation, with other families, Caucasian families, all this. You really are reduced to your things once you pass away. So you might as well live it up now the way you want to. Buy what you want, have what you want, spend what you want. Because in the end, they're going to throw all that crystal chandeliers, all that stuff I like in my house. It's going to be in the trash, or they're going to sell it and go on. Nobody's keeping it to be sentimental or anything like that. They
sure not, because they don't care about that. All they want is the money.
Show me the money. And then when that's gone.
That's it. All they want, they fight over it. And you right, when somebody passes away, that's when you see the worst.
You see the worst.
Everybody. And I hate that. I be like, dang, like, why you fighting over y'all mama house like that? Whatever. Like, your mama worked too hard for you to just sell it. Like, somebody need to keep it. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? If I could do it all over again, I would have sold it. After all the turmoil and all the stuff that I saw, and the fights, and I had good intentions, but they weren't that good. I thought that once you lose you lose the elder of the family, the matriarch of the family, that, we're going to come back and this is going to be where we had all the holidays and all the good memories. Nah. Nope.
It don't work like that, baby. Everybody want a piece of something.
And when they get their piece, that ain't even enough.
No.
And that piece
because
be
they
gone.
Want your piece.
Well, want more of a piece. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, once they get that, baby, they want something else. You sure is right, honey.
Found out that, and I said, and even with my son, his friends, they were coming over trying to get different things and shoes and all this other stuff, and I was like, can I have this? Can I have that? And I was thinking, can I get the hats? Can I was like, that baby ain't even been gone long enough, and we worried about his stuff in his room, and because that's what you're reduced to once you are about your things.
And it just show you the character of that person. Like, so you just was around me, and basically you probably was envying me, because now that I'm gone, and now you trying to get all my stuff.
Want the stuff.
Like, you want everything that I had, whatever. Yeah, the world.
Well, they say you don't need it. Right. I even had I had a sibling say, where's DJ's PlayStation? I want it. He can't use it no more.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, and that's the world we living in. That all us want success. We do. We want success, and we work hard. We do work hard to get the things, to get to where we want to get at, or whatever, so we could be successful. But it's true that once we get there, it's like we still not happy about it. Or we probably be happy about it. We just want more. Like, it's like we just never
it's never gonna be enough, though.
Right. We just never.
And that's even with success. And now we have to look at the measurement of success. Because before we measured off the things that we have, I look at success totally different. It's if I was able to make it through the work week without crying. Or was I able to get up and be okay? Are my bills paid? Do I have money in my account? am I happy? Because I wasn't happy.
Right.
I successful or not, I was the friend that everybody go to for money. And I was the one to go to for brunch. I was the one to go to, can you send me cash at me $50? Can you do that? I found a different type of happiness. So success is totally different now.
And you have to cut your circle out.
Absolutely.
Yes, you have to cut your, because I be, people like, well, Chanel, what you have going on? No, no, be at my house. Like, well, you always at home. You don't never be doing, baby, I be at peace. At home. like I like to be at my house. Like I don't, and I've always been like that. I never had to run with a big circle. Never. I never had to run with a group of girls and had to have this one and be at this one house and be at that one house. That never, never, never was me. Like I always just stood at my own house, and I don't like company.
And I'm the complete opposite. At 44, I thought I had to have a big group of circle of friends, and I had to have 5 or 6. And if we go on a girl trip, we gotta have 5 or 6. I have found peace in just one, just somebody else to sit there,
just somebody, right?
And hey, can you want to go to brunch? And I don't need this because I always thought I had to be complete if I had this big old circle. So I found out in the last 3 years of my life that people come and people go.
Yep, and you find out who with you. And who not with you.
And if you make a mistake,
you
better not make a mistake, because God forbid you make a mistake, they leaving then too.
Oh yeah.
So and so I've grown up in the last 3 years more than I've ever in the last 44 years.
Right. And another thing is I do things by myself. Like I'm not scared to, like when I used to go to the clubs and stuff like that. Oh, you at the club? Oh, I'm at the club by myself. By yourself? Yes. Yes, I go out to eat by myself. I go to the movies by myself. I have no problem with doing things by myself. And a lot of people don't understand that. They don't know how to be by themselves. And that's the problem. You have to learn how to be by yourself before you could be with somebody else. And again, I bring this up all the time. We found that out for COVID. They was in the house and couldn't stand each other. Like I bring that example up all the time because it was crazy of how many domestic violence issues we had during COVID. Like people have to really learn how to get with their own selves and be by their own selves. And that's just something that they don't know how to do. They act like they just have to be with this big old crowd of people for some reason. Yep. And I'm just happy that I never just was like that. Sometimes
it's a gift and a curse, though. So it's a gift and a curse. Like I was voted most nosy in high school, most talkative in high school. So I've always been this big talker, and I can talk. And I came from a family that's what we did was talk, and we got together. But it's a gift and a curse because now I'm seeing the flip side of that. Where what you doing? I'm at home,
right?
And as much as lonely as it is, it's still peaceful. I ain't arguing with nobody.
Right.
I ain't fussing and fighting with nobody. I ain't having to entertain nobody. I ain't having to stay out late because somebody else is there. You don't want to leave them there by yourself.
Right.
I don't have to be on the phone gossiping about one of my friends and sitting up here doing that. And we both doing the same thing. But and one getting back to the other. It's a different type of peace now. So,
right. And it's not loneliness. It's peace. Yes, it's peace. And that's what I'm saying. That's you learning how to be by yourself.
It took me 44 years.
Right, but it's okay.
Over 40 years.
Right, it's okay because now you're getting there. You know what I'm saying? Now you're getting there, and so that's like life. Right. That's all, and that's all that matters. Because we don't have to be, like what's the word? Independent and strong all the time. Like shoes. Sometimes you just have to be soft and be in your little vulnerable stage. And even if you have to go through that little stage by yourself, then like, okay, well, who with me and who not with me, because when I needed you, you wasn't nowhere around. So that's when you gotta learn how to cut people off and just stand on that.
And I'm not even going to say cut them off, but recognize what place they go in your life. Because I've always put everybody on the same level. You may have your best friend or you may have this one, but I've always put everybody on the same level. We all going, we all kicking it, we all going. And people, who going? Who's going with you? Who all is going? Because you know
Right.
how you are, and because
Mm-hmm.
I'm inviting everybody,
Right.
and I've now found there are different tiers of friends. I thought that was the worst thing in the world
Mm-hmm.
was that we have different tiers of friends. You have one you gossip, but you have one you talk to. You have one you kick it with. I didn't know. I put everybody on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
And we all going. Hey, you want to go?
Do.
We send
They
out
do
group
have
messages.
different
They do.
because everybody can't get along with each other because they probably look at this one as, oh, she too bougie, or she too uppity, or she act like she better than us. And it's just not that. Y'all just different. Y'all come from different walks of life. Maybe that person growing differently in their life, and you probably still at this little one stage, and you not growing, or something like that. But yeah, that is true because everybody is different.
Everybody's different, but in the same retrospect, when we get over 40, you should be able. If I don't like you,
Right.
if I don't like you, I should still be able to get along with you and be in the room
Right.
with you,
Mm-hmm.
and I should be
Right.
able to cope and that be that.
Right.
And I've just found that in this new soft life, because I'm done arguing and fussing and fighting and blocking you and talking. I had to. It took some peace for me, but I was like, anybody that sit on the phone and talk to me about you will sit on the phone and talk to them about you. And I didn't understand that. I used to say, I don't care, it don't bother me, and it doesn't because I don't know. But what I've now found out that, hey, you can eliminate all of that just by not even participating. Hey,
Right.
oh, okay. Hey, girl, I'll talk to you later.
Right.
And get off the phone because I don't want gossip this time. I don't want to
Right.
do that because I know if you're doing it with me, you're doing it with
Right.
somebody else.
And then the story get back
In a big
different
way
to the other person.
and then,
like who have time for that?
so, and even with family, I've now found out with family, like, and that's one of the big things. I was thinking, oh, I'm the baby of the family. Everybody's gonna do what I said. No, they're not. They don't have to listen to me. They're gonna make up their own rules. They're gonna come up with their own things. And before we protected each other a lot more, and now it's different. And I respect it. Right. I like it. So I only need. I'm not. When next time I'm going out, I'm asking somebody. I might show up by myself, or I might call up you and say, "Let's go somewhere."
Right.
And I'm not interested in having 4 or 5 other people with me. That does me no good. Because somebody ain't gonna have no money. I'm gonna have to pay for somebody. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna look and yeah. Somebody gonna be looking up somebody. You see what such and such did?
Right.
And then I'm on the phone doing it. I might make one comment. That next person know what I didn't say it back. They ain't said what you didn't say. Right. But that same thing. So I'm finding that out because and it's 40 over 40. I'm finding that out. It was in my 20s and my 30s. I was running them up. Right. We talking. I'm hanging out with whoever. Hey, you want to go? Let's go. You want to go? And hey, are you inviting? And I would always get in trouble with my friends or family. Why you invite them over? Why did you do? I didn't even want them over here. You just be inviting people. I'm thinking we all the same. We all friends. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, because I'm there now, which I didn't get there to like my 40s either, but I'm like about to be 50. so like if I early 40s, just like you when I went through my last divorce. And that's when I got there, well, with the red flags, people, if I don't, if you do something and I don't like it, it's called just boundaries. Like, no, I don't want to be bothered with that, or whatever. And
you get it.
And that's just it. Like, and I don't care how you feel about, anything. Well, you talk to Chanel. No, I ain't hear from Chanel, because Chanel have boundaries now, and I don't feel like being bothered with your circle.
It's me. Like, that's what my therapist is on. That was the only That's the only thing I learned in therapy was boundaries. That I didn't have any.
Yes,
I didn't have any.
We have to learn how to set boundaries because we don't have to deal with a lot of things. Like we don't have to put up with a whole lot of things. If you don't like something, you say that you don't like that. I don't like that. So no, I don't want you around me. Or or you just gonna limit how much I come around you, or whatever.
And it should be okay. We don't have to be. They don't
understand. They're not there yet, and you can't even fault them, and that's why people say that's why you got to leave some people behind, and we have to understand that's a true saying that everybody can't come with you, and when we understand that, then we'll be better. We be thinking, oh, we gonna hurt this one feeling, or we gonna hurt that one feeling. They don't care about
feelings. Girl, they don't care. they don't care about yours. So you definitely better not care about, and that's friends, family, whoever. They do not care about breaking your feelings because the old Rhea would go into it and talk about it. And I said, ain't the old Rhea. I've just evolved.
Right.
Now I've evolved. You caught me in my old stage. Now I'm in my new stage where I'm just chill with whatever.
Right.
I can go home. I don't have to sit here. I can go home. I don't have to. I don't have to put up with this. I can go home.
Go home.
So that's why I said it's the soft life.
Right. And that's why I never was like people, like, oh, we going here, whatever. I'm gonna ride with you. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not riding with me, baby. I suggest that you ride in your own vehicle because when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go, and you might not be ready to go. So like,
and if you know me, I'll leave.
I
don't tell nobody I'm leaving. I just look up and Rhea gone. You know why?
Right.
Because I don't have to. I don't have to respond. Now it is respectful. You probably should tell somebody you're leaving. But see, I don't want you to talk me out of me leaving.
Right.
So I'm just gonna go.
Because why you leaving so early or this and that? And that's understandable because I would exit the building too real fast.
And not tell nobody I'm leaving. You gonna look at, did you leave?
Right. Yes. We was looking for you, girl.
I didn't have my people meeting.
So I guess we probably answered this one. What daily practice helped you live softer? Like in
mine
your
now is
area.
not, I don't take nothing personal no more. You don't call me, I ain't talked to you in 2 or 3 months. Yes. It's not personal. Somebody fall off the grid and ain't answering the call, you texting, they not responding back. I won't take it personal. I look at, okay, maybe they in their own, they in their bag, or they doing something else. It's not personal towards me. I do not take things personal anymore. I was offended. Oh, she don't call me no more. I realized that peace.
Yes.
So
and then you try to look at that a lot of people is going through different things, but they battle when they own their demons in life, because we do tend to take things personal, sometimes, because I'm an Aquarius. So my Aquarius trait is to ghost you. Like I don't know, we go through this little thing where, like we'll talk, you'll probably talk today. Yeah, girl, I don't know, have good conversation. And then you probably don't hear from me no more than almost 3 weeks, or something like that. And it's nothing wrong.
Nothing.
Like it's just I don't talk like that, I don't feel like being on the phone like that, whatever. But I do have a couple of female friends that understand that. And if they call me and I decide to answer and talk to them, I call them and they decide to answer, we don't, girl, where you been at? Because we just pick
up where we left off at.
Right.
That's
like
it.
Like nothing ain't never happened. So I like that.
I do too.
Like that's understanding. Like okay.
I found out now that when you're sitting on the phone every day talking to somebody, you ain't got nothing to do but start talking about mess and junk. Because if you talk to somebody every day, you're not on chance of missing. They know everything about you every day, your every move, your everything. I like waiting a couple of weeks, a couple of days to speak to somebody and you got something to talk about. Because if you talk to them every day, I had friends I talked to every single day, like clockwork, every single day. Only thing we can do is start being messy or start having, because now we're telling everybody else's business of what's going on because you ain't got nothing to talk about. You already know I didn't went to work. I'm off work. And I'm doing this.
What happened in this one life? And with my auntie and did, with my cousin.
We went through the whole thing. You got no chance to miss nobody. And like us, when we get together, we pick up where we left out. What you doing? What are you going on? Sure. What's the next thing you doing? I got to know your personal business. What all you done went through? See, I was so involved with everybody's life. That it consumed me.
And that's too much for your mental. That's why you have to take mental breaks. And people don't believe that we need mental breaks. Like, and my phone don't ring every day, all day. I actually get an attitude. Like, oh my God, why is this phone ringing like that? Like, and the only time my phone ring a lot, I get is when I go back home. If one state, oh, Chanel in the city, y'all, I promise you, my phone is ringing and ringing. Where you at? What you doing? Where? And that drives me. That drives me. And and I also be thinking like my crazy self because we overthink because we just be thinking out the box. And I be like, I want to do celebrity school. like this how their phone be ringing? Do they get tired of doing this or tired of doing that? Because just that little stuff didn't overwhelm me. You know, like, cause they call, where you at and where you gonna be at, and yeah, we gonna have to meet up, and I be like, baby, wait a minute, I probably just said there Airbnb today. You know, like, but
Now, yeah, we different on that one. If I'm going out of town or something,
yeah,
I'm in the streets.
so yeah,
I'm all the way. If I
gone
lived in this,
too.
that's where you from.
Mhm.
Cause I run the streets in New Orleans.
Yeah, I've gone
But
too.
I
But
do
I
get
don't
what you
like,
mean.
like when they call and
Yeah, call.
that like overwhelms me because I'm not used to all that. You know, like, okay, baby, we about to meet up. But they also get mad at me because I tell them I'm not gonna be able to come and see you. So you're gonna have to come where I'm at, kind of thing. And I tell them, because I don't have no problem. Come where I'm at, or whatever, and we gonna kick it. We gonna have fun, but I'm not gonna be able to come to you because I already got plans.
Mm-hmm.
So I ain't come down here to come by your house.
I come with itinerary.
Right. I when I go down there, I have my schedule is set. I'm gonna do this that day, that day, this that day, and but I invite them. Like I tell them, yeah, you can come because this is where I'm about to be at. Whatever, whatever. And sometimes they still don't understand that because I get blocked. I get mad. They real deal get mad at me if I go down there and don't go see them. Like they get mad, but it is understandable that people need their space and everybody need to realize that they need their space because we don't realize that space is everything. Space is everything. And if we could just get that, honey, I think everybody will get along just fine, but everybody feel like they have to be with this person, they have to be with that person.
Well, I think that what happens, what I've come to find out, I don't know if it's fact that we're giving this life, and it doesn't come with a book. It doesn't come with a manual. It doesn't teach you to me. And they said, oh, it doesn't teach you how to be a mother. You learn that on your own. It doesn't teach you how to be a friend, and it doesn't teach you how to be a family man. It doesn't teach you how to be a sister. So we're learning as we go, and so you're gonna have mistakes. You're gonna have those things. But I have just forced myself. And it was because of some things and some choices I've had to make and some things that went wrong, some things that went right in my life. But I just I'm at peace. If I got to argue with you about something, I'm just gonna. Do you know that I just hang up?
Right. I do that too.
When I get mad, I'm sitting there. I'll look at that phone, click. I don't, cause why? Cause I don't have to. Right. I don't have to sit up here and argue with you and talk to you.
Don't. Because it's too much energy.
It's too much.
Why I gotta give you this much of my energy?
And I'm losing. You're on the losing end. You getting gray hair, stressed out. You having to pee. You're losing weight. You all this other stuff. And I saw myself stressed. Oh my God, such and such not talking to me. Oh my God, I was wearing myself out. Now it's nothing but soft. Like, hey, what can you do for my life? What can you benefit me? And if you can't even buy me a meal, what am I doing? If we go somewhere out to eat and I treat you, I'm expecting the next time you see me, you treat me. But they're never on the treating end.
They not, and that's when your circle need to change. Because like I didn't ran into people, now if we go out, because that's how I am. If we go out, and I be like, oh, don't worry about it, I got it, or whatever. Like if we happen to go out again, dang, can I at least get a you got it now, something. And it ain't even no big deal if you don't have
it's a big deal,
but like
it's
to me, it's like I don't like be expecting it, like kind of sort of like, oh no, I got it Chanel because you had it last time, whatever. But because people don't know how to reciprocate that, and I don't know how people budget is, so that's why But just know that I'm not about to pay for this again, whatever. I'm just paying for my stuff.
In this soft life, I tell them now, hey, I'm treating you this time. The next time you're treating me, because you're right. They not understand. Because when you look up, you'll be the one paying for all the brunches every time. And I just use that because that's my thing. You'll be the one paying, and they'll keep accepting. And say, well, you the one that kept paying. No.
And instead of just saying, because a friend gonna say, no, girl, you always paying. Let me get it.
Show you something, or if you can't afford, hey, come up with it. Don't go. I like now.
Because we the people, to be honest, we don't. Most of the time, we don't even know how to receive. Because people don't never give us, because we are the givers. And givers don't have no limits. And the taker don't either.
Take that part because they gonna keep taking,
right?
And then you be looking up and you mad, and there's no reason to be mad,
right?
Because it's really on you, and it's because we're so used to being. I don't know if it's well I got it because I got it, and I'll see couples that don't got it. And I'll be like, shoot, I can make you a meal because y'all look like y'all may be struggling or whatever, or you might not have it. And I do, but I expect the next time you see me, right? Now say it though, and it maybe it's rude, but it say, hey, I'm gonna treat you this week, but the next time we go out, you better have.
You be outspoken, real. So
I got no choice.
They have to just love you for who you are and have to know you to not take offense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So because some people probably take offense, like, I know she didn't just tell me that I have to pay for stuff or whatever, because sometimes people really don't have it, whatever. They be grateful. No more. But right, and but let people know, I'm gonna go ahead on and just pay for my own meal, whatever, how the case go. Because when I ain't gonna lie, when people do something for me, I be like a little shocked. I be like, oh, okay, thank you. Like, I don't even be know how to act sometimes. Because
you're so used to
like, giving. Okay, right, and I really am. And I think sometimes that goes over in your relationships. Like, when with your significant other, when he trying to do stuff for you and you telling this man, oh, you good or something like that, or I know you ain't gotta do, you gotta accept that. Like, stop, what are you doing? Like the man said, let me tell you something. We went out of town, and I had a duffel bag, a little duffel. But he was like, I'm gonna bring the bags down to the car, whatever. So he before he was on, we still had one bag left. So I grabbed it, we walked out the room and he was coming up the hall. He was like, give me the bag, my stupid self. I got it. What? So, like, no, like, I got it, you ain't got it. And he looked at me. Would I look like letting you carry this bag and I don't even have no bag? Like, give me the bag. And I had to think, like, well, he right. Like, what are you doing? And that's crazy. And that happens in a lot of relationships. Like, women, they be like, well, women be saying that they want a man who gonna help them or do this or do that. They do. But if it's a woman that have, a lot of her own things, whatever, been doing it on her own for a long, long time, where it's hard for her to, like, she got to really think about it, like, let the man do it. Like, just let him do it and you stop trying to do everything, like, be soft. And we so much in survival mode and in the masculine, we don't know how to be in our feelings.
We don't. I'm with you on that one though.
We don't know how to be
in this song, like, I let him do everything. I got me one. He just do everything. Can you carry that? Cut your yard. Do that. I'm trying to find somebody to cut my yard. No, I got it.
Right. And we have to learn how to accept that. And the man said, I'm about to wash the car. Oh, you don't have to. The detail people coming. What are you doing? Like, the man said he won't wash the car. Let the man go and wash the car. Like, my stupid self. All the detail people, they come in, I got somebody to come out and detail it. And then, I thought about it. You right. Go ahead.
It's just the way we're not used to the song. We used to doing everything. We used to being the single mothers and the ones that have to make the ends meet, got to pay the mortgage, got to pay the rent, got to pay the bills. I just sit back and let them do everything.
Right.
And we go get the groceries out of the car.
Yes.
And then I live with
change the F.
Change the
It be little simple stuff.
I want it all.
It be little simple stuff. You got gas for the week? Oh, we getting gas? Like it be the little simple stuff, whatever.
I love
it. Okay, yeah. Baby, fill it up. It did my car parked every day because I work from home. So my car, I'm barely moving, whatever. So yeah, it be the small thing.
I like it, and then like I told you, in this soft life now, when I'm looking at everything, and dealing with a man, and if they want to do something for you,
let them. That's what I'm saying. Let them. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of women, they don't know how to do. You're not my daddy. And you can't be telling me, girl, if you got a man that's trying to lead you and he got something, or whatever, and he about to take lead in this house and do what a man is supposed to do, maintain you in this house, let him do that. Like, stop fighting that man on that. But we so hard and, want to be in our little masculine area. And now we fighting with the man. I don't need you doing that for me. And this and that. Like, what is wrong with you? But we don't know, and it's not even our fault really.
Right.
We just don't know, and we have to learn that, whatever, because we wasn't taught that. A lot of people, women and men, they never saw their mama any feminine, with a man making her feel as valid. If she's having a rough day and they see the man sitting next to her, it's gonna be all right, like, I got it, or this or that, or we gonna make. They ain't never saw that. They're the ones probably sitting on the side of their mama saying, Mama, we gonna be all right, kind of thing. So that's why it's like, it's really is nobody's fault, whatever. We just have to learn it.
Yeah.
We have to try to break it and try to teach our daughters, not teach them to be independent. You know what I'm saying? Teach them, try to teach them to be soft, need a man. Because even you could have all the degrees in the world, all the money in the world, you still need a man. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be woman enough to need him even when you don't need him. You know what I'm saying?
And you have to learn to be quiet about it too. Because see, I like to talk a lot, and I don't need this, I don't need that, and in truth of the matter, you do. And it took, like I said, it took a lot of maturing. It took a lot of therapy to get me to this point, and a lot of just be a woman, and you got everything. You don't need nobody. A lot has changed. A lot has changed, and that's why, in career wise, oh well, how much money do you actually need? Like me, because I'm thinking I got to make 6 figures plus, have something in the bank, have a year's worth of salary, 2 years, 3 years, and you keep working towards this goal, you will never be fulfilled. So, and now I'm just starting to see now. I didn't have it all. I didn't buy more clothes, more things, more crystals, more chandeliers than I can count.
Right. And you give it away.
Give it away. Yeah. Not only do you give it away, you waste it. I'm looking for something. After I didn't buy all that, I'm looking to buy something else. And look up, you have a house full of double stuff because you bought, I want it all. And I was like, how do you have all of this stuff?
Right.
And you're still not happy.
I have, I have a 3-bedroom house. So that means I have the 3 closets in the bedroom. And then, you got your living room closet. And I kid you not, stuff. Like, and I be like, Chanel, you just got too much stuff. Why? Stop buying stuff. Stop buying stuff. Stop. Because what I do is I give it away. Like, I'm not about to wear it. I'm just gonna give it away.
Oh, you better than me. I wish. I try to keep it all and order it all.
No, I give it away because I give it away to make room for more stuff. That's all I'm basically doing. The shoe closet is ridiculous. I give away over 50, probably 50 to 80 pairs of shoes. Like, I just did this last summer. I went and looked in the closet and looked like I gave away nothing. Like, I gave away nothing. Like, that girl came and picked up all that stuff, and I even showed her. I said, I have a sickness. So, yes, it just looked like I gave away nothing. And I just told my daughter, I said, I got to go through these shoes again and give away some shoes because it's just shoes that's sitting up in there that I'm not even about to wear. I ain't even about to wear them. And these are brand new shoes, and I may have worn some of them once, something, but these are brand new shoes. And I said, Chanel, stop buying shoes. So I'm working on that because that's a real sickness with me. Like, people have gambling problems or probably drug problems. I have shoes and purses and clothes problems.
And then we got the same problem. Cause I get them Sheen boxes every day.
Man, I get stuff from Amazon, from Shein, from girl tennis shoes. I get this. I say, nah, this don't make no sense. Yes, yeah, it's a real sickness, honey. But hell, I don't know. I don't know what we could just say about it, but do better. That's it.
That's it.
Do better. So, real tell the people where they probably could catch you at or something. What you have going on in the future? What's your business? Because I know you do like insurance or something.
So I'm a project manager. So that's where you manage projects, IT projects, things like that. That's my career. That's what I do. I have a notary business where I do notaries, process server, technology, fix phones, screens, computers. Um, I have my business and consulting business. Like if you need something for your business, if that's starting your LLC, starting your S corp, starting your C corp, taxes. Doing mostly that's my specialty is business taxes. I do them for truck drivers or people that have auto cars. I do that. I have my jewelry that I sell, my lipstick, my It Girl Lips by Rhea. Do that. I got my hands in real estate. So when you got into real estate, I've done the rental properties and now I'm getting into property management. I just started It Girl Courier Services. So that's going to be going over traveling, that medical supplies, doing all of that. I got my hands in a little bit of everything.
Right. And so do you like go over wheels?
I'm doing that.
Okay, well, no, for real. I have a wheel. I didn't go get it notarized and stuff yet because I need to understand it and make sure that I have everything in the right place. You know how you putting people over something like if you can't feed yourself of somebody putting a pork in you or something like I need to really go over them guidelines.
Let's make sure we all understand this. Never go with a will. A will is probatable. So we don't want to go with. You want to have a trust. You want to have a hospital directive. You want to have a healthcare directive. You want to have a funeral directive. All of your bank accounts need to go somewhere to somebody, a beneficiary. So a will is probatable. My mother died with a will, and in her will she had these rules. So she wrote it back in '83. I was 3 years old, and she had wrote this will, got her witnesses, got it all. It was in her thing. I always knew where it was. Nobody ever took the time to read it or look at anything because we don't want to talk about death. But in this will, she had her property. Right. And then she did not specify what she wanted with it. See, me is in my trust that my house is not to be sold. Any of my homes are not to be sold. They are property, and you are to keep them. And the money that I left behind is to take care of these properties and investments. My mother left it to us and our own devices. And so, and then we had a big old fight, and and then that was to either to sell it or whatever the case may be. And so, if you take a will and you don't know what you don't know, because me and my siblings, we were all tight like this, tight. It changed the game. Whether however we want to look at it, but a will is something that you don't want. That's probatable. You want to trust to tell people exactly what you want, how you want to die, how you want to be buried, what you want to be buried in. Now, my mother did that. Now, she had her funeral already paid for, her plot already paid for, what church she wanted to be buried at. And in her whole life, she's been telling me what her favorite song is, and I was able to do that. I did all that by myself. I buried my mom all by myself. I had siblings and things, but they don't really know my mother like that. But the service was already paid. That everything was already paid. All she had to do was show up. Right. So okay. So what's the difference with the trust? A trust is non-probatable. You don't want to go to court. We spent $40,000 in legal fees. Oh. Where do you get the trust from? From court? You build it. No. I can create a trust for you. Get a notice. It's the same thing. The trust is just that all of your assets are listed into an account, and your bank accounts, your life insurance, and then you have a trust that's spread out. It's a booklet that whenever they want to find out, everything's kind of like all my homes in the trust of, and things like that. Your property, my bank accounts are in the trust of, and I have a beneficiary, but a trustee who is going to be able to dish out what I want, where I want to go. The accounts are already created, and they just take them over. Okay, so they will be the ones able to go into the bank to get your things, or go get the home and put the home, because if your home is in the trust, their beneficiaries is paperwork out, or trustees, whoever that is, your trustees and your beneficiaries. Okay. So your trustee is who you said I want such and such to dish out all of mine. So mine will be my best friend. So she's supposed to do. She has her instructions of who has what and where it's to go and who's to do this. Now, whether they do it or not is up to them. But they won't have to go to probate court or have to go sue. They all know what percentage they have in the property, what they're to get, and they all have to make decisions. And if one person doesn't make decisions, none of them go with it. So they have to decide as a unit, and that's why you want to. But trust. They have to give. If you say, "Hey, everybody getting 45% of this money," yes, they have to split it up. Okay. And the bank has those instructions too. Okay.
And what else I was about to ask? The like if you was to be in the hospital,
Yeah, that's
that's
called a
in there
hospital
too.
directive.
Okay.
So that comes part of your trust. And so for me, I don't want to do not resuscitate. I do not want to be on a vegetable. So
Right.
just go ahead and let me go.
Okay.
And don't fight it.
Okay.
And
So all that's in there too. Just something like a will, but they just can't bring
you
it
just
to
don't want
court.
to. Yeah, you don't want to put the courts in your things. That the one thing I regret was putting the lawyers and all of that into that. That was a big old mess. And in the end, the only people that win is the lawyers.
Yeah, that's it.
Because you're splitting the money. When,
right? Because
she could have. My plan when this happened was to put the house into my mother into a trust, and we all had shared it and split it up, and it just be a family home and things like that. But I have now learned through these, and my siblings are almost 20 years older than me. So you have people that just want the money. Well, if you want to put the money, then let me buy you out. But see, you got to decide on the price and how I want more. You got this, you got that. You know, that was a big old mess. You don't want to do that to your children. Even if you think they're going to get along and they're going to have that, there will be a fight if it's not distinguished out. Who got more, who got less, who got, all of that. And it's just money.
Right. And it's the truth because I didn't saw that tear up a lot of siblings. When their parents leave and they get into a big old brawl.
But the older ones, though, aren't doing that. The older ones, if the one is staying with the mom, it's not even a conversation. If the older I'm talking about older than us. They have what's understood. I've got several friends who their grandparents have died, and then they had one sibling that was taken or living in the house. They didn't dispute that. They gave that on over to them.
Right.
And I've met one, and so they didn't. Those are the ones that was sitting there. I would have loved to see my sister have the home.
Right.
But and I recognize now things which would have been a little different. But see, they would. This is my house. Well, if you already got your own, you ain't worried about one house. But the ones that don't have their own or want a piece of the pie and things like that, then now you got to buy me out. See, all of that could have been prevented if you didn't have a will. If you have a trust, a all or nothing. So you have 3 kids, right?
Right.
Yeah. So those 3.
I have 4 kids.
You have 4 kids. So 4.
Talking about 3 kids. I have 3 girls and 1 boy. Yeah. So and even when we go through when we did the will, because I had already told them, because I want to, like your mom, I want all my funeral stuff to be paid for, so that don't be a headache for them. But I'm going back to New Orleans, whatever. And I didn't, I told them, I said, y'all make sure y'all bring me back to New Orleans. I want this, I want the horse and carriage, and all this stuff, whatever. So I guess I gotta put that.
So imagine if you wrote it down. You didn't have to. We had to. I only knew how to. I know my mother's favorite color was purple. I knew where she wanted to be here because she's always talked about this one funeral, and it's not even where everybody go, like the temple. I don't know if you know what temple is. And she already knew where she wanted to be buried at. But she did it in a different way. She told me my whole life.
Right.
My whole life. I'm gonna go to McKay Davis and blah blah blah. And then when I get there, it was so easy to go through because she already had money set aside for her funeral.
Right.
And then when I went, she'd already told me where she was gonna be buried at. She'd been telling me for years, and I went up there and they had her whole thing listed out. Made it easy.
Right. Yeah, and that's and I want to make it easy like that for them too with those arrangements because I tell them that all the time. Like, y'all do this. This is what I want. I want y'all to do that. I want y'all to do this and that and that. But yeah, I guess
one of my mothers had her already a funeral planned, had all the way down to the obituaries for her children. What she wanted to say at her funeral.
Right.
I said,
wow. What song to sing and all that stuff. Yeah, and I guess these days you probably should do that because it is much easier and it probably would keep down a lot of conflict.
Yeah, mama wouldn't like that. Yeah, I just it's now. It took me to go through that to realize that I've been too hard on myself my whole life, trying to be the best and trying to do this. And now I don't want to be cremated because I believe in if someone come back, I want to come back to life. Now, but I also have a different view on it. Now, I don't have a kid here to mourn me, so who's going to come up to this thing? But I said I still want to be buried.
I don't want to be cremated because this is my view on cremation. I say those people probably don't even clean that thing good. If I have other people up in there, they're mixing me with other people. So yeah, I definitely don't want to be cremated. Yeah, but that's funny though. Yeah.
And you can catch me all summer long in my backyard, having barbecues, picnics, using my grill, in my pool, in my hot tub. Right. I ain't nothing out here in these Oklahoma streets and traveling. That's what I'm gonna be doing. I might do
Traveling.
some brunches and stuff like that, but I actually do enjoy my own company, and I don't mind having a book
Yes.
out there on my patio.
That's great, baby.
Yes,
That is
I
great,
don't
honey.
mind it at
That's
all,
where you need to be at, honey. The best place, honey. Well,
and
of
it's
course,
safer.
yes, it is. Well, of course, you guys, y'all know y'all can catch me at ChanelMonique.net, Chanel Monique, everything. I'm not hard to find, y'all. You can Google me. But yeah, so that's a wrap, honey, for this episode of Just Saying with Chanel Monique. So we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.